There are certain people you encounter in life who seem different the moment you meet them. Not because they're the richest person in the room, not because they're the most attractive, not because they hold an impressive title or possess a wall covered in degrees. And yet, something about them feels rare. When they walk into a room, they don't demand attention. They don't raise their voice. They don't try to prove their worth. But somehow, attention drifts toward them anyway. There's a quiet gravity in their presence, a calm strength that doesn't need validation. And it makes you wonder, what creates a person like that? Do they know some secret the rest of us don't? Were they simply luckier than everyone else? Did life hand them advantages that others never received? Or is there something fundamentally different about them? The truth is far simpler than most people imagine. Their lives weren't transformed by one massive breakthrough. They were transformed by thousands of small decisions. Decisions nobody applauded. Decisions nobody noticed. Decisions made in silence. In the early hours when the world was asleep, when no one was watching, when no one was encouraging them, when there wasn't a single sign that success was anywhere on the horizon. Most people spend their lives waiting for a defining moment. They tell themselves they'll begin when the timing is right, when circumstances improve, when motivation finally arrives, when they feel ready. But time keeps moving. Seasons change. Years disappear. The road grows longer, and the waiting continues. Meanwhile, there are others who never wait. Quietly, patiently, they build themselves. Day after day, morning after morning, one small step at a time. And eventually, those tiny steps carry them somewhere remarkable. To everyone else, it looks sudden, as if success appeared overnight. But nothing meaningful ever appears overnight. What seems sudden from a distance is often the result of years spent working in the shadows. A tree does not touch the sky in a single season. First, it disappears underground. It grows roots no one can see. And the deeper those roots reach into the earth, the higher the tree can rise into the light. Human beings are no different. If there is weakness within, success on the outside rarely lasts. But when strength is built from the inside out, even storms struggle to bring a person down. That's why the most important game in life is never played in the world around you. It's played within you. The real battle is not against circumstances. It is not against other people. It is not against bad luck. The real battle is against your own mind, against your impulses, against your excuses, against the parts of yourself that seek comfort over growth. And the person who learns to win that battle often finds that many of life's other battles begin to take care of themselves. Think about it. How many goals have you set for yourself? How many times have you promised that this would be the year everything changed? How many times have you felt inspired, energized, ready to become someone new, only to find yourself back in the same place a few weeks later? The problem was never your potential. It was never your intelligence. It wasn't a lack of talent. The real problem was that you never built a system strong enough to carry you forward when motivation disappeared. Because life is not built on motivation. Life is built on discipline. Motivation creates emotion. Discipline creates results. Motivation burns like a spark. Discipline burns like a steady fire. Motivation may carry you for a day. Discipline can carry you for decades. And that is why the people who achieve extraordinary things do not build their lives around feelings. They build their lives around principles. Every morning, whether they realize it or not, they ask themselves one powerful question: who am I becoming today? Because destiny is not created in a single dramatic moment. It is created through daily decisions. Every sunrise brings another vote. A vote for the future you want, or a vote for the habits that keep you trapped in the past. You can strengthen your dreams, or strengthen your weaknesses. You can move toward the mountain, or drift back into the valley. One of those forces is winning every single day. And years from now, the life you are living will simply be the result of whichever one you allowed to win most often. Because in the end, your future is not built by what you intend to do. It is built by what you repeatedly choose to do when nobody is watching. There are two kinds of people in this world. The first wakes up each morning and immediately surrenders control of their mind to the outside world. The second takes control before the world has a chance to take it from them. The first person reaches for their phone the moment their eyes open. News headlines, notifications, messages, other people's achievements, other people's opinions, other people's problems. And within minutes, their mind is crowded with things they have absolutely no control over. They don't begin their day begins them. The current grabs them before they've even decided where they want to go. But powerful people choose a different path. They understand that the first moments of the morning quietly shape everything that follows. The direction of a ship is not determined in the middle of the ocean. It is determined by the course set before the journey begins. That is why, before they listen to the noise of the world, they listen to themselves. For a few moments, they sit in silence. No distractions, no demands, no voices competing for their attention. And they ask themselves a simple question: who do I want to be today? At first glance, it sounds insignificant, almost too simple. But hidden inside that question is the power to transform an entire life. Because most people focus on what they need to do. Extraordinary people focus on who they need to become. And that difference changes everything. If you focus only on tasks, you may achieve temporary results. But if you focus on becoming a stronger person, results eventually begin chasing you. Because success is rarely a matter of doing. It is usually a matter of becoming. Then comes something many people completely overlook: respecting their body. In today's world, most people don't think about their body until it forces them to. When pain appears, when energy disappears, when exhaustion becomes impossible to ignore, when a doctor delivers a warning they wish they had heard years earlier. But the truth is this: your body is not merely flesh and bone. It is the vehicle carrying your entire future. Every dream, every goal, every ambition, every person you hope to become, all of it travels through the condition of your body. And when that vehicle begins to break down, the journey becomes much harder than it needs to be. That's why each morning should include some small act of respect for yourself. Not because you need a perfect physique, not because you need to spend hours in a gym, not because you need some extreme routine, but because movement reminds you that you're still responsible for your own life. A walk, a stretch, a few minutes of exercise, a moment beneath fresh morning air, anything. Because when you move your body, something deeper begins to wake up. Your muscles wake up, your energy wakes up, your confidence wakes up, your mind wakes up, and little by little, you begin to see yourself as someone who keeps promises to themselves, someone who takes ownership, someone who moves forward instead of waiting. Then there is another danger, one that quietly destroys millions of lives without leaving visible scars: mental pollution. Every day, people consume endless streams of information: videos, news, posts, short clips, arguments, opinions, predictions, controversies, hour after hour, day after day. And yet, despite all of that information, very little wisdom is gained. Why? Because information and wisdom are not the same thing. Information fills your mind. Wisdom changes your life. Information gives you more to think about. Wisdom changes the way you think. That is why highly successful people don't consume everything. They consume carefully. They find one powerful idea. They sit with it, reflect on it, Challenge it. Apply it. Allow it to reshape their actions. And only then do they move to the next lesson. The modern person's problem isn't a lack of knowledge. The problem is a lack of reflection. There has never been more information available, and yet there has never been less silence. People are always listening to something, watching something, scrolling through something, reacting to something, escaping into something. But very few people spend even a few minutes alone with their own thoughts. And a person who cannot sit quietly with their thoughts will struggle to understand their life, because clarity grows in silence, not noise. This is why powerful individuals feed their minds every day. But they don't feed them chaos. They feed them depth. Ideas that strengthen them. Ideas that challenge them. Ideas that remind them who they are when the world tries to make them forget. And eventually, we arrive at the habit that separates ordinary people from extraordinary ones. Freedom from the addiction to comfort. Most people only do what feels easy, what feels safe, what feels pleasant in the moment. But life's greatest rewards have always lived on the other side of discomfort, beyond the storm, beyond the fear, beyond the resistance. Every time you choose what is right over what is comfortable, you build a new layer of strength inside yourself. When you get up despite your laziness, when you take action despite your fear, when you continue despite your exhaustion, you are doing far more than completing a task. You are shaping your identity. You are teaching your mind a powerful lesson. I am not a servant of my circumstances. And that lesson changes everything. Because in the end, success does not belong to those who always feel motivated. It belongs to those who continue doing what is necessary even when motivation has vanished, even when the road is dark, even when progress is invisible, even when no one is watching. And that is the moment an ordinary person slowly begins to transform into someone different, someone whose presence carries weight, someone whose confidence feels effortless, someone whose strength can be felt before a single word is spoken. And people look at them and say, there's just something different about them. But that difference wasn't created in a single day. It wasn't built by one dramatic decision. It was built the same way mountains are shaped by rivers. Slowly, quietly, patiently, through thousands of small choices repeated long enough to become a new way of being. But there is a truth that very few people are willing to face. The greatest damage in a person's life is rarely caused by other people. More often than not, the greatest damage comes from the lies they continue telling themselves. They convince themselves everything is fine, even when, deep down, they know it isn't. They know they are living beneath their potential. They know they are wasting time they will never get back. They know they are making choices that slowly weaken them. And yet they look away. They distract themselves. They stay busy. They keep moving, hoping they won't have to confront what they already know. Because the truth is uncomfortable, and most people would rather protect their comfort than face reality. That is why strong individuals develop a different habit. Every day, they spend a few moments being brutally honest with themselves. Not with the world, not with social media, not with their friends, with themselves. They ask difficult questions. Questions most people spend years avoiding. What am I running from? What truth am I refusing to face? What excuse have I been hiding behind? These questions are not pleasant. They do not make you feel good, but they make you grow. Because every transformation begins with truth. A person cannot move toward a better future while pretending their current reality doesn't exist. Until you acknowledge where you are, you cannot become who you are capable of being. Most people spend their lives looking into mirrors that reflect their appearance. Very few look into mirrors that reflect their character. And the people who do often grow faster than everyone around them. Because self-awareness is a force multiplier. It turns years of wandering into purposeful movement. Then comes another principle that quietly separates powerful people from everyone else: boundaries. Many people don't lose their lives because they're weak. They lose them because they give their attention to everything. Every argument, every criticism, every problem, every request, every distraction, every piece of drama demanding a reaction. And little by little, their energy begins to leak away, like water dripping from a cracked vessel, until one day they wonder why they feel exhausted despite never stopping. The truth is simple. Your attention is the most valuable currency you possess. Whatever receives your attention grows stronger. If you feed fear, fear grows. If you feed anger, anger grows. If you feed resentment, resentment grows. If you feed your purpose grows. That is why extraordinary people don't just decide what they will do. They decide what they will refuse to do. They understand that not every invitation deserves acceptance. Not every battle deserves participation. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every person's approval deserves pursuit. And not every problem deserves a place in their mind. Because they understand something most people never learn. Every yes costs something. And every unnecessary commitment steals energy from what truly matters. This is why there is often a strange calmness about them. They don't react to every headline. They don't chase every distraction. They don't ignite every time someone throws a spark in their direction. Because they have discovered that real power is not found in reaction. It is found in control. Then life presents another lesson. One that most people spend years trying to avoid. Adversity. Almost everyone hopes for good days. But very few prepare themselves for difficult ones. We want life to unfold according to our plans. We want people to meet our expectations. We want every effort to succeed, every door to open, every path to remain clear. But life never makes that promise. It never has, and it never will. At some point, someone will disappoint you. Someone will betray your trust. An opportunity will slip away. A plan will collapse. A person will misunderstand your intentions. And sometimes, despite giving everything you have, you will still lose. That is part of being human. The question is not whether hardship will arrive. The question is who you will become when it does. Weak people lose their identity when challenges appear. Strong people reveal their identity. That is why it is valuable to spend a few moments each day considering a possibility most people avoid. What if today doesn't go according to plan? What if someone lets me down? What if an obstacle appears? What if circumstances turn against me? How will I respond? Who will I choose to be? These reflections are not meant to make you fearful. They are meant to make you prepared. Because when a person prepares their mind, life loses much of its power to shock them. The storm may arrive, but it does not destroy them. They may stumble, but they do not shatter. They may get wounded, but they do not surrender. The road may change, but the destination remains clear. And that kind of inner strength always stands out. Because many people appear strong when the sun is shining. Many people seem confident when everything is going their way. But character is revealed when darkness arrives. Character is revealed when the winds turn against you. Character is revealed when the outcome is uncertain and nobody is coming to rescue you. And the person who remains faithful to their principles during those moments needs no introduction. Their character becomes their introduction. Their actions become their reputation. And their presence becomes proof of who they are. And finally, there is one habit that most people dismiss because it seems too simple to matter. Yet this habit may be one of the most important of all. Doing something every day that belongs entirely to you. Something that isn't performed for approval. Something that isn't done to impress anyone. Something that doesn't exist to generate attention, status, or validation. something you do simply because it makes you feel alive. The modern world keeps people so busy fulfilling expectations that many never stop to ask themselves who they really are. They spend their lives moving from one role to another: employee, parent, friend, spouse, provider, problem solver, caretaker, responsibility after responsibility. And somewhere along the way, they forget that behind all those roles is a human being, a real person, someone with dreams that belong only to them, thoughts no one else can think for them, a private world hidden beneath the surface, a world that deserves attention. And when a person loses connection with that inner world, no amount of external success can fully satisfy them. Because peace is not found by collecting more. Peace is found by reconnecting with yourself. That is why every day, even for a few minutes, you should make space for yourself. Read a book, take a walk, sit in silence, learn something new, watch the sky, listen to your thoughts. Ask yourself where your life is heading and whether you're becoming the person you truly want to become. This is not wasted time. It is recovery. It is realignment. It is how you find yourself before the noise of the world convinces you to become someone else. Because if you lose yourself, then even after gaining everything else, you may still feel empty. And when you step back and look at all of these principles together, a powerful truth begins to emerge. Real power is not wealth. Real power is not fame. Real power is not influence. Real power is self-mastery. Mastery over your thoughts. Mastery over your emotions. Mastery over your habits. Mastery over your reactions. Because the person who learns to govern themselves becomes incredibly difficult to defeat. People often ask, how do you build a powerful presence? How do you become truly confident? How do you develop mental toughness? The answer isn't hidden inside one book. It isn't contained in one video. It isn't waiting inside a motivational speech. The answer lives in the small decisions nobody sees. Waking up when you said you would. Protecting your mind from unnecessary noise. Taking care of your body. Facing uncomfortable truths. Escaping the trap of comfort. Listening to yourself in moments of silence. And making the choice, day after day, to become slightly better than you were yesterday. Those are the things that slowly transform an ordinary person into an extraordinary one. Remember this. You do not need to change your entire life today. You only need to change today. Improve one habit. Make one better decision. Keep one promise to yourself. Then do it again tomorrow. And again the day after that. And one day, you'll look back across the years and realize something remarkable. Your life wasn't changed by a dramatic breakthrough. It wasn't changed by luck. It wasn't changed by a miracle. It was changed by the small choices you made when nobody was watching. So make a promise to yourself right now. A quiet promise. A private promise. That you will no longer leave your life to chance. That you will no longer hand your future over to old habits. That you will take responsibility for becoming a little stronger each day. Because in the end, life does not give us what we want. Life gives us what we repeatedly practice. If you practice strength, you become strong. If you practice discipline, you become successful. If you practice excuses, excuses become your destiny. The choice is still yours. It has always been yours. And maybe, just maybe, today is the day you lay the first stone of a completely different future. If this video resonated with you and you want more deep insights on self-improvement, mindset, discipline, and personal growth, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave this comment below. I start becoming a better version of myself today. Because change does not arrive someday. Change arrives the moment a person decides they will no longer remain who they used to be. And that decision can begin right now.